of the political process. And if that commitment means that there are complex issues that need complex community debate, then I'm not going to resolve from the fact that that needs to be done, and that is an important part of the democratic process.
Neil, I just might add there, Dee's being a bit modest. In 1993, because they did take the government on, some $100 million more spending for people at the lower end of the income scale was gotten out of the Keating government. That's pretty good going for two people in the Senate who were very new to the game at that stage.
Do you worry that if the budget is delayed and substantial bits of it knocked around, that the markets, for example, might judge the Government of Australia unworkable, and that might cost us in currency and interest rate movements? I mean, you might not like the markets, but they do have that power.
Can I tell you what's going to have the most effect, I believe, on the viability of Australian business and employment? And that is the fact that there's somehow a belief now, a pre-1930s belief, that as long as wages and conditions go down and down and down long enough, you'll reach a point where you reach an equilibrium. That doesn't exist anymore, and I think what we could do is we have an ideological choice to go into the recession we didn't have to have. Now, I don't want that to happen, and we'll be fighting like mad to make sure that we don't have any government's ideological choice pushing the poor of our society into totally untenable situations.
You had a meeting with John Howard last Tuesday. Were there any signs from the Prime Minister, as far as you're concerned, that he's prepared to do any horse trading? Prepared to give ground on some measures?
Well, there wasn't a hint of horse trading in that hour and a half we had with the Prime Minister, but to give him his due, he knew from the outset and stated it up front that he knew there was a great gap between the Greens and the government's position. He knows that we're coming from a totally different viewpoint, but he also is, of course, wise enough to know that it'll be a good thing for the information to flow between both, and he's got an open door to giving us the information we'll need in considering very seriously and responsibly this budget, and it's good to know that he's going to be open to better revenue raising, for example, alternatives that we'll be putting to his office and to the government in the course of what's going to be a pretty turbulent debate in the next few months.
It sure will be, but what about the chances of a double dissolution, Bob Brown and Dee Margetts? Surely that's high-risk politics for both of you.
As you've pointed out, the basis of their budget, the slash and burn base of their budget, they've already constructed in such a way it becomes very difficult for the Senate to
But are you worried,
make changes
are you
to that.
cognizant of the fact that a double dissolution for both of you is very risky, particularly you,
First of all, the Prime Minister said that he won't be having a double dissolution.
Quickly, Bob Brown.
Because the Senate's not going to change. The Greens would win more seats and at least hold our own in a double dissolution, because we simply need to win half as many votes.
It's never been a basis of our decision.
Dee Margetts and Bob Brown, thanks very much for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks too to Pru Goward from ABC Radio, and thanks to you too for staying with us late on a Sunday night. We'll see you again next week. Till then, good night.